Hi there. Something different. This is not an update. This is a video where I'm going to be showing you records I have that I keep, that I like to keep, but that I will never ever play or play again. Um, if you want to do a video like this, feel free to do so. This is not a contest or anything. It's just me throwing out a little threat video, I guess. Um, there's a couple of records I have in my collection that I bought on purpose just so I wanted to have the album sleeve or something like that. It's very rarely that I want to have a complete discography of an artist. There's one record here that is part of a complete discography. I don't have the complete discography, but it's a record I wouldn't buy if I didn't know the artist but heard the music or something like that. So if you have any records in your collection that you basically bought just for the album sleeve, uh, just because you wanted to complete something, but you know you're never, ever, ever, ever going to listen to it, feel free to show it. Um, I got about 6 records here. Um, I have some more framed uh, on the wall. My wife liked those prints. I like those prints. That's why I bought them. But I'm never going to play them. They're part of kids' music, whatever. So, coincide with that, I have two, at least one kid album and one that looks like a kid album. It is not. Um, this I bought for the sleeve. This is ballet music or dance music for preschool children. Um, it is just piano based songs, music that is basically music that kids can run to, can jump to, can walk to, can hop to. It's that certain rhythm with the piano. It's these two guys, they're responsible for the music, the arrangements, but I just love the artwork. It has to do with my wife. When she was a little younger, she was doing ballet, so I also bought it for that. But they're just little cute drawings there. Um, Framed on the wall, you don't see them here, but are similar kids kids choir albums. Beautiful artwork drawn. Never ever gonna play them. This one, I think I sampled it, and that's about it. I'm never ever gonna put this on the record player. Um, Here we have one called "Sing met ons mee." Sing along with us. Um, this is hope you can see it. It says Schlager here, and it says potpourri and toppers and whatever. This is music you can sing along to. Terrible music you can sing along to. Um, it's what is considered Schlager music in Germany, but this is Dutch. Um, and they're terrible songs. Um, for fun, I played it for my son. He basically ran away from the room. But the artwork is just look at that little monkey and this guy and the bird, and it's just wonderful artwork. That's why I keep it because it's just so beautiful. It has nothing to do with the time this came out, which must be about early '60s, but it's just beautiful. So that's why I keep that. Um, yeah, I got like I in the introduction I talked about discographies and having them complete. There's one artist that I have a record of that I wouldn't buy if it wasn't that artist. Uh, I don't have his complete discography, and I don't need his complete discography. It's just this record. It's from a period that I know was cool and was inventive and experimental, and uh, I misjudged this record, but I do keep it because I think it's really, really cool. It is Boudewijn de Groot with Nacht en Ontij, which I think means for dusk and dawn. Um, that's Boudewijn. Um, I think what year did this came out? This must be, doesn't say here, but it must be around 1969. 2 years earlier, a year earlier, he released one of my favorite albums by him called Picnic, which is a psych pop masterpiece. This could be labeled psychedelic, but it's not music, with the exception of one song, which is called Babylon. The rest is called Nacht en Ontij, or Dusk and Dawn, and it's a story. It is a story about fairies, about elves, about goblins, about witches, about witchcraft, and it is just so freaking weird. I might at one point have listened to side one completely because it starts with the song Babylon, which is really good, and then goes into this story that is being told here. And I don't think I've ever completely listened to it because why would I? It is an unlistenable record. It doesn't make sense. It's hard to follow. It's just weird sounds, little snippets of music, and Boudewijn narrating a story about goblins. I don't care. But I needed this record, and I keep this record because it's from, like I say, the period where he made one of his best albums, Picnic. But this is not one of his best albums. And what makes it weirder is this picture inside. Just look at that. See? But I keep it. I'm never ever going to sell it. This is another one that I'm not going to listen to. I think I've listened to this one completely and it's not that good. It's enjoyable. But the album artwork is just amazing. This is Twisting. Spike Marlin and the Thunders. It's twist music. You know, Chubby Checker did the twist, so why not have a lot of people jump on the twist bandwagon and release albums like this? But the picture of two female legs twisting, I guess, it's just amazing. I love this picture. I love black and white photography on album sleeves. It's on Society Records. It's not in the greatest shape at all. But with songs like Peppermint Twist, Birdland Twist, Hillbilly Twist, Teen Beat, Guitar Boogie Shuffle, this should be cool. It is not. It's very, very mediocre, and I'm not going to listen to it again, but that sleeve, I want this framed. Definitely. The last two records I got are records that are made by underground comic book artists, maybe. I don't know. A comic book in the Netherlands is something different than it is in America, because a comic book in America means Superman or Batman or stuff like that. But yet underground comics, and you had them in the Netherlands as well, but they started out a little later, late 60s, early 70s. Explosion of creativity and very vile artwork, actually. That's not going to be on this one, but the artists, they did some really, well, naughty stuff, let's just say. First up, probably the king of American underground comics. This is Robert Crumb. Not his group, he had a group as well. But this is from 1978, and it is a klezmer album, or klezmer, yeah. The Klezmorim Streets of Gold. It's traditional Jewish music played with violins, with accordions, with trumpets, with whatever. That's where they are. It's not my style of music at all, but that artwork, it's pure crumb. I don't want to sell this. I bought this basically for the album cover. Experiment, sorry, experiencing the music, but not enjoying the music. If this had a picture sleeve of the band, it would be gone. But look at it. Isn't that amazing? Statue of Liberty. So the lettering, he did that. He did the label artwork. Yeah, you would pick that up as well. I'm pretty sure of it. Next up, this is maybe a Kids album, maybe not. But it's not something that I will be playing, because the quality is very, very bad. It cracks and it skips and whatever, but the sleeve, that's why I bought it. This one. This is Spannende Sprookjes, which I don't know what it translates to, but this normally would say sprookjes with an R here instead of an L. That it means exciting fairy tales. And they are fairy tales, but done differently. Here's more artwork. The artwork is done by a guy called Peter Pontiac, and he was maybe Crump's equivalent in the Netherlands. He did a lot of exciting and transgressive artwork. It's on CNR, which is a Dutch label, nothing special. A lot about drugs and pimps and punks, and he was very big in the punk movement. But he also did things like this. This is for someone who is called Wilhelmus Cornelius, and he is telling stories, and this was what was on the radio every week on the radio. I don't know, I don't remember that. What year is this came out? 1979. I was listening to radio more a couple of years later, but this was just an album that I had to pick up based on that artwork. It's a fairy tale, or it's fairy tales, I don't know. Doesn't really say much. Wilhelmus Cornelius is not the real name. It's actually, his name is Willem de Ridder. That must be Willem de Ridder. He had a radio show, or he told stories on the radio every week. Yeah, but I needed this. This was something that, again, I want to frame. It's just amazing looking. It says with a beautiful booklet. It's not in here. Didn't find it with the booklet, but so that's it. That's my video. If you have any albums to show that you will never play, but you have a reason that you don't want to get rid of the records, please tell me. Let me know. I'm curious. I'll be uploading this before I upload videos I already recorded. So this one gets a little pushed ahead. I just feel like it. Have been thinking about this little thread for a long time, and it now just popped in my head to do it. So thank you for watching. Leave some comments, and if you want to make a video responding to this, if you will. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.